Hello everyone and welcome back to Austin Plus or Austin Plays, depending on what channel you're watching it on. But today we are discussing what happened during 2025, a review, shall we say, a review of my 2025 on the social plane, and basically what has happened within these 365 days. And I honestly think this is a far better year than last time. This last one I did go tiny bit personal, but this isn't about personal stuff this time round. It is purely about the content, the creativity, and what I've learned over this past year in terms of YouTube. And the best thing about this is I also get to make a tiny little tease of where I'm going to take things in the next level and what might impact that during this year. So without further ado, let's get into it. So talking on the channel overview, for anyone new here or if you are somehow stumbled across this video, I run a few different channels, or mainly just two, but Austin Plus is my secondary channel with commentary, reviews, and a bit of everything else, like with a tiny questions here and there, some reviews. And then you also have Austin Plays Gaming, which is my main channel, which might be where you're watching it, I don't know, but is where all of my gaming content lives. And Austin Cooks is where I post content and simple recipes that are done properly. Now Austin Cooks is my TikTok, but all of my TikToks on Austin Cooks are also diverted to my Austin Plus as well. So both of them you can monitor them yourself. Now, across all platforms and formats, 2025 has been my most consistent year yet so far. It's probably the year that I delved really hard into content making and I stuck with it in the long run, and I really loved it. So building on that, let's talk about the uploads and consistency. In total, across all channels, I uploaded 237 videos / shorts this year. That is insane. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I also edit videos for my brother's channel as well. A lot of them, it's videos that we have collaborated on. Some of them are streams, but a lot of them, I edit it now to make his life easier as well. So, on top of the 237 videos that I have done for myself, I also do that. So that is a lot of work that has been taken up this year. And that is something I'm genuinely proud of. And I don't want to sound like an egotist, but that's a lot of work. And you have to give credit when credit is due. Now, consistency is a very key thing. And it's always one thing and it's the hardest part of content creation. If you ever want to start a content channel or anything like that, the hardest bit is consistency. Now, there are times where I've floated in and out, especially in between September and October. I really struggled with the cooking side of things because for me, I have to level 3 things. And in August is when I started to do a bit more editing for my brother. So then add that into the mix. All of it just got a bit wishy-washy. But it was only until the last couple months I've actually been able to balance them all out. And that takes effort. That takes time to reconvene, step back, and understand. That's why I've also taken a few times. This is probably the first video on the Austin Plus channel since Christmas, if I remember that right. Other than a few shorts here and there. But that is genuinely what I have to consider. There is a lot of behind the scenes, and majority of the time it is just me. The majority of the time, I mean, it is just me and maybe a couple friends' suggestions here and there. But editing, recording, everything, it is just me, and it is really hard to carry on with. So to get 237 videos out of that. Oh my god! Yes, not every video was perfect, not every video blew up, but showing up is what really matters. Now let's talk about subscriber growth. Now, okay, if you're comparing to really big content creators, this is gonna seem like nothing. But to me, someone who, I wouldn't say I put a lot of time into this. Editing is tedious, yes, but when it's done, it's done. But this year has actually really surprised me in terms of my growth because of the way I've rebranded things for me personally. That makes it easier to track. On Austin Plus, I started on 115 and I ended on 212. On Austin Plays Gaming, I went from 75 to 150. That's a full double gap. That's insane.
Wow.
I really struggled with the gaming aspect of stuff because I never understood it. My brother's what he started on. He started on gaming, but then I wanted to jump on that bandwagon. But I didn't know how to get there. But to go from 75 to 150, that's a big leap. That's a double jump. And I didn't obviously do double on the Austin Plus side of things, but I nearly did. I mean, 215 to 212, that's what, 97? Big brain maths. Which, yeah, I think it does take a tiny bit of credit. Hopefully that next year, considering the stuff I have planned for this year, I hope that changes in a tiny bit. Now, but the other thing is, now this is granted, the TikTok algorithm is very good. On Austin Cooks, the TikTok side of things, I literally started at 0 as I started it in January last year. And I ended the year at 220 and 282 followers. That's great. I really enjoyed that because it's so simple. I really do like cooking. And honestly, the cooking side of things, it's honestly just a way for me. I cook a lot. I cook a lot for my family. I cook a lot for myself. I do like takeout, don't get me wrong, but I also like cooking for myself because it's an accomplishment. If I can be asked, I will do it. If I can't be asked, I get takeout. Or my parents cook. But other than that, I do a lot of cooking, so a way to get that out to the world, I think, is also another good thing. And that has also encouraged a personal project for me, because I really love book writing, and I've always loved doing cookbooks. I love reading them, and I love exploring different recipes. And it's an idea. It's probably not going to happen for a long, long time, but a cookbook, it wouldn't be a bad idea if I get there. But seeing every channel grow, whether that's the commentary, whether that's the gaming, whether that's the cooking, especially a brand new one, especially with Austin Cooks, made all the effort worth it. And I also read all of my comments. I read every single one of them. And yes, some of them can be a bit iffy, but then also some of them can be really heartwarming. And that is the stuff I really do put the effort in for. That reception helps more than you know. Now, my most viewed videos of 2025. Now, if we're talking about on the Austin Plus commentary stuff, my most viewed video of the year was the trailers that I missed while I was on holiday. So it's just a video. All the links to these videos will be down below, by the way. But trailers that I missed were basically, I went away for I think 2-3 weeks. Maybe I think it was 2 weeks. I went away. And the internet just decided to start shitting out trailers because I only had tiny trailer reactions here and there. You had the Now You See Me, you had Lilo and Stitch, which was basically scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point. I had 5 that time. Stranger Things, Eyes of Wakanda. Then you also had Mortal Kombat, Avatar. There's another one I just don't remember. Oh, Peacemaker, that was it. All of them I've already done reviews on as well, except for Avatar. I just haven't seen it yet. On AustinPlays Gaming, the one gun challenge in Fortnite was my other. It's actually out of all of these the most viewed one, other than TikTok. But I was very happy with this as it is a typical challenge in Fortnite. I did it a bit differently. I used the spin wheel, my good friend, the spin wheel, and it just gave me a random one, and that's what I got. Granted, some of them were horrible. I had a flare gun, I think I had an AR at one point, and maybe a shotgun, I'm not too sure. But I did actually enjoy recording these videos because I recorded the basically one every day, edited it the same day, uploaded it the same day. I did that for about a week. It was quite rewarding to see those views because it basically got 200 overnight, and then over the next week it got another 100, and then I went back to it to prepare for this video, and it's got 572. I might be wrong on that, but it's about in the 500s. That's insane to me. That is heart, like as I said, heartwarming, and it just shows that I am getting something out of it. I am not just doing basically this for nothing. I'm getting something out of it, but patience is a virtue is the greatest advice I could give any person that is an aspiring YouTuber like me. Now, on the Austin Cooks side of things, the top video or TikTok was Cacio e Pepe. However, I've done 2 videos on that. Now, one of my friends on the video did state that that I made the Cacio e Pepe the first time wrong. The second time, when I made it the right way, this then became my most viewed video. So thank you to that person. Sticking to the cheesy side of pasta, and Austin Plus Shorts, the most viewed short was actually the mac and cheese. Now, the mac and cheese, I will not say, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was still okay. From what I learned from this, simplicity works, challenges work, and sometimes the videos you least expect are the ones that connect the most. One gun challenge, I expected to get basically nothing from that. But the rest, it was very good to see. Best and worst sources of entertainment, all of which I have done reviews on, I think. Yes, I have. But every year we have highs and lows, and when it comes to movies and shows, 2025 was no different. My best movie of the year was F1 the movie. I absolutely adored that movie. I love it. I've seen it about 7, maybe 9 times at this point. But it completely exceeded my expectations, and it stood out in a year full of many releases. How to Train Your Dragon. It started like that was going to be 3 things, but I don't remember like any other movies that were on the top of my head. But considering that, F1 movie, absolutely phenomenal. Now, the best show in my eyes was actually Daredevil Born Again. Now, that review took about a month to do. I don't know why, but I absolutely loved the Daredevil Born Again show. It was so good, and I'm so glad that we're going to get a season 2, so stay tuned for a review on that. Easily one of the strongest series and reimagined series I have watched this year so far, and this year I watched a lot of new stuff, mainly because boredom hit me hard. But now on the other end of the spectrum, what was the worst? Now, my worst show of the year was Ironheart. I did not enjoy that. Considering the lack of hype, the lack of story, the lack of everything, really, it just wasn't good. And my worst movie of the year was Captain America Brave New World. Now, as I said, it was okay, but it was just so weak. But not everything hits, it's just how it goes. Now, in terms of travel and creative wins, one of the most rewarding things this year was being able to turn travel into content. Now, I love traveling as much as the next person. I do like going to new places. The traveling aspect to get to the other side is a flipping nightmare. I hate flying. The claustrophobia, the lack of entertainment that I just basically procrastinate, and I do that at the best of times. On a 7-hour plane where you can't go anywhere, gets to you. I've done a 16-hour flight before. That was painful. Now, while going away on a holiday and also going back to the UK, I also managed to get tourist and travel content. While going away on holiday and then coming back in the summer to the UK, I managed to get tourist and travel content out of it. And that's not something I thought of until my parents actually suggested it, so thank you to them. But which honestly felt really rewarding creatively, and also I can now revisit them. Basically, as I scroll through my own TikTok page, I'm not ashamed to say it. Mainly just to read comments, but also especially for this very reason, because I get to revisit these. I remember where I went, I remember where I was, because that's the kind of memory I have, unfortunately. However, I get to remember all of this, and I'm very glad that I do. But the standout trip for me was Amsterdam. I uploaded 2 videos of Amsterdam, where we went to a cafe and then we went to a pancake corner. Absolutely loved it. Amsterdam, cold as hell at that time of year, but it was so rewarding, and I do not regret it in the slightest, especially making content over there. That was so fun. It was easily the best experience content-wise and gave me a lot of inspiration moving forward, which is why later down the line, I then did content when I was in Liverpool. Just the same aspect. Yeah, maybe not the same culture, but it doesn't matter. That's not what I did it for. It's just still a way to get my, what I do in my life out there as well. Now, that is the 2025 aspect of things. Now let's look ahead to this year. 2026 is... Now, I would argue it's probably one of the best, one of the most scariest, most important, one of the, honestly, weirdest years that I think I know is coming ahead. So, that's also why there's some negatives coming soon, but I will let you know. So, what's next? On the gaming side of things, I'm going to lean more towards the Marvel Rivals short form content with, skin and bundle reviews, because There's so many. They release about 2 every week, and they are really good. And it is also an easy way to get views on the YouTube side of things. I think on the short and like short form content, I'm lacking on YouTube in terms of gaming. But on TikTok, I'm actually doing somewhat better. But even just comparing the two and then killing 2 birds with 1 stone doesn't like do hurt. Now I'm also in the process, and I know it's gonna sound cheesy. I am got 200, we'll average it out, we'll say around 200 subscribers. I'm in the process of trying to get some merchandise made, because it also makes a standout point. It's not going to be a lot. It is just going to be a tiny the idea is probably like a tiny jumper, but it is a way to promote yourself as well, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Some sort of marketing, promotion, and anything in that area is always beneficial. Any montages that I do on YouTube from now on for the gaming side of things will more than likely be uploaded to Austin Plus as well. I don't know if I'll stick to that, because differentiating the two is good. However, Austin Plus is, the whole idea is to do any additional content, but that also means to stick with the short form content that I do now. So I'm still a bit wishy-washy on that. Now, this is something I stopped in the summer. I stopped streaming for a while because it is, as I said, patience is a virtue, and it's only something I've come around to now because I've thought of streaming again. I don't know if I'll start now. I don't know if I'll start even doing once a week. It might be helpful, but I'm not sure. Because I'm also, depending on how things go, I'm also currently examining the opportunity of starting a brand new channel. Now, that is a lot to carry on. 4 channels is a flipping lot. However, if any of you here can see a differentiation in my content on Austin Plus, but I even them out, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you can guess it, I'll be impressed. If you can guess it, comment below. I might start the brand new channel with another content creator that is still up for in discussion, which is something I'm actually really excited about if it goes through. But it's, as I said, it's still very wishy-washy. For Austin Plus, I wanted to broaden the content horizon, including drawing and coloring showcases with Austin Plus. So I had this plan to do last year, just never got around to it. I think it would be a perfect way to continue on with short form content, but I wanted to broaden that content horizon, which is major for me, but also I can maybe send some traffic to the gaming side of things, because I know it's going to sound weird, but I want the ratio to change. I want there to be more in the gaming than there is on the Plus. Now, again, another thing, I don't know if I'm taking on too much here. I know it's obviously a small channel, but the little things help, but I don't know if I'm taking on too much here. I used to do weekly videos on certain like things that happened, like trailers that would release, certain news in the movie, game, or other industry, like TV shows, but it was very hard to keep consistently, and I'm seriously looking at bringing them back, because it was really, I really enjoyed making them. They were the easiest ones to make, and I mean, it is difficult now, but I know how to structure my own time, so it's a lot easier to just like, oh yeah, I'll use that time to make this, and then I'll use this to record it and then edit it. So it would be a lot easier to structure, because I also now have the better equipment, stronger grasp on how to do them properly. So that is also something I can obviously maybe think of. The other option is do them in short form content. Don't know if I'll carry on with that. Now, onto the negative side of things. The likelihood is, I do want to be honest, however, I might be taking a temporary break between March and April. Or March and April, I'm not too sure, because all of this is to do with personal reasons. I'll not say why, but it's a time for me. It's a temporary break. I'm not like leaving YouTube. It's just something to take off of my plate temporarily. And the same might go between June and July and October or November. These are, as I said, for personal reasons. Now, this is not a permanent stop. It's just about pacing things properly and making sure that content stays enjoyable and sustainable, and so that there is a balance between the content and the personal matters. Overall, 2025 has been the most consistent, creative, and rewarding year online so far. Thank you to everyone who has watched, liked, and commented and subscribed, and even supported quietly in the background. It genuinely means more than you know. But without further ado, folks, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel, and comment what you would like to see this 2026. But without further ado, hope you have an amazing day and an amazing year as always, and I'll see you all in the next one, folks. Bye!
Yeah!